Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well today, and today we have another FNaF tier list video. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these. I think the last one I did was last year with the FNaF Ruin tier list, like all the characters and stuff. And today we have one related to Help Wanted 2. But instead of doing all the characters, we're doing the mini games. So Help Wanted 2 is honestly one of my favorite FNaF games. I had so much fun with it playing it back in December. And it was amazing, honestly. I loved it so much. So right here we have about 30 to 40 levels to rank. So obviously some levels are repeats, so such as the Fizzy Faz levels, some of the Fazer ones, they're like repeats kinda, I guess they just have slight differences. So yeah, we're gonna be ranking all of these mini games and I'll be showing you my opinions. So if there's some levels that I like that you don't like, or there's some levels that I hate that you like, don't complain about them in the comments. Just don't get angry at me. These are just my opinions and how much I enjoyed the level or how much I liked the level overall. So yeah, let's just get into it. So first one, we have Arts and Crafts Daycare of Sun. This is one of the easy modes. I'd say this is a solid B tier. It's a good level. It can be very stressful at some parts, especially that timer. The timer feels like very fast, even though you have plenty of time to beat the level. But it just starts ticking so much. But yeah, that was a really good level. I enjoyed it. It was fun to play. I'm not that big of a Daycare Tenant fan, so I'm not going to play like an S tier or an A tier, but I enjoyed the level. It was fun. And then we have the opposite side here, the Daycare Loft. Now, if you saw my Help Wanted 2 series, I remember putting the title of the video when I played this level. This is the hardest level in FNaF Help Wanted 2. Just because of the flashlight does not go into the recharge station like quick enough. Sometimes it just gets stuck in there and you can't grab it properly. So I'm gonna put this level in probably like a D tier. I do not like this one. It's a good idea for a level. It's like a ruined version, but like ruined sun and ruined moon. It makes sense. I think it's a good idea for a hard mode. I just feel like that bug of the flashlight not being like, you put it in the recharge station, you can't grab it out properly. Like automatically goes back in to the recharge station when you're trying to grab it, which is very annoying and led to many deaths. Next we have Bonkabon. I really like this level. I think Bonkabon was like one of my top 5 favorite levels in Help Wanted 2. So I really liked it. I'd say it is a solid A tier. It's simple, it's fun. You might accidentally whack your wall with the controller, but just watch your surroundings. I whacked my roof while playing it back in December. That was fun. I don't think there's a mark on my roof though, so that's good. But this level is really fun. I love smacking the plush babies. That feels really good to do because I hate the plush babies. They suck. Next up, we have Bonkabon hard mode where there's a little glitch trap guy and you have to fix the tilt thing. We have to do all the wires and stuff. I'd say this one is probably a B tier. It's pretty much the exact same, just that glitch trap is there and the whole room is darker. Not many differences, but it's still a good addition. Next up, we have Bonnie Bowl. Now, this one right here, I have some mixed opinions on Bonnie Bowl. It is a fun level. I don't think bowling works very well in VR. And also, there's the Gobble Gobble achievement, which is bowl a turkey, which is 3 strikes in a row. That achievement was one of the last ones I got on my Platinum Trophy. And that achievement sucked. I was grinding that for like 3 hours straight. It was so annoying. I tried so many different tactics. Obviously, it is much easier now using the flat mode that released back in June. But I did this on like the last day of 2023. So that was when there was only VR mode. So it was very difficult, but it was very rewarding in the end. I liked playing Bonnie Bowl, but it was so annoying at some times. I still think it's a B tier, B for Bonnie. Next, we have the Carousel. I think the Carousel is really fun. I liked it. It's a good idea. It does have some lore implications for like Fall Fest because there's a carousel and fire. I don't think I've ever died on this level. The Carousel was extremely easy. I'd say it is probably a B tier. A lot of these are B tier, but we'll get some of the more interesting levels later. But this was one of the fun ones that I really enjoyed. Also another one that was shown at PAX 2023. And it was fun. It's quick and easy. I can beat it in like 2 minutes. Not that long. But it was fun. Next up, we have the Cinder Carousel, which I think, honestly, I think it's a better version of the original Carousel. We have Jack-O-Moon, which I think is a little more creepy. And it's also got like a whole Halloween theme to it, which I think is nice. Next up, we probably have the very first level that most people played, and also my first level, which is Cold Storage. And I'd say this is an A tier. This level was really fun. It definitely was pretty scary seeing Glamour Freddy in VR. This was actually my first time playing like any VR game, which is the Cold Storage, and it was terrifying. I remember jumping, like, I remember being like so shocked when Glamour Freddy jump scared me. That's how I got my first trophy, just doing the liability risk trophy. And I remember getting jump scared and I got that trophy. It was like such a good memory. I feel like it's a good level. I kind of wish we got more repair mini games like Help Wanted 1. Like, this is the only one, well, unless you count the Helpy First Aid, this is the only like repair mini game we really got. Unless you count Roxy makeover. But this is technically the only one we got. I kind of wish we got more repairs, like parts and service mini games, because those are really fun. Those are probably some of my favorite levels from Help Wanted 1. Like, Help Wanted 1, of my favorite levels are probably like parts and service and rent repair. Those are just really fun levels to do. They were scary because you're up close and personal with animatronics, and it was just really good. Alright, next up we have DJ Music Time, where you have to like do the, like, make all the music for DJ Music and while I was watching you. This guy is massive, by the way. He is giant. Like, it's so scary seeing him tower over you in VR. But yeah, I'm also not that big of a fan of DJ Music Man, so I'm probably not gonna like his levels as much as other people. I'd probably say that they're just like basic C tier. I'm not that big a fan of them. I'd probably move the first one up to B tier. The part 2 and part 3 are just kind of annoying because the mini music men. I died to them so many times and it was just really annoying to play. First one is fine though, it's a fun level. I like making the music. That's what I will say about Help Wanted 2. Most of the mini games have a lot of replayability because they have a lot of customization. Not for you to do, but for the game. Where it does randomized orders, randomized like patterns and stuff, which is really fun. I like that. Next up, we have food prep. And food prep is probably one of my favorite categories because it's just so fun. First up, we have food prep L chips. I'd say it's probably the weakest of the food prep levels. I'd say basic L chip food prep was a B tier. I think it's a good level. I had a lot of fun with it. I love replaying it. Food prep is just fun to replay. I kind of wish there was an endless mode, honestly. Like, just endless food options until you just ran out of time to do all of them. It's just fun. I wish you could get like a high score and stuff with if there was an endless mode. Same with like the Roxy Salon, maybe the Helpy one, the Fizzy Faz, the food preps. I think they should have done like an endless mode. That would be so fun. Next up, we have some of the more better food prep levels. I'd say Pizza, which is with Glamour Chica. I'd say it's an S tier level. Honestly, I really love that level. It was so fun. I'm a big Glamour Chica fan. She's probably my favorite Glamour animatronic. I really like her character. And I feel like Help Wanted 2 just gave her much more personality than she did in Security Breach. They kind of brought back her Valley Girl accent.
Don't make me wait any longer. Do you want me to starve? I need to be fit!
And I just really like her like voice acting and how she acts in the game. She's just such a fun character. I really like her. And she's especially good in the food prep level. She's just fun like looking around the place while you're cooking the food. Definitely a big jump scare as well when you turn around and she's just standing right next to the Fizzy Faz station. But then we have the food prep Fazbear, which I think is another S tier, honestly. I really like this level because there's a lot of different threats. You have the Endos in the background, and not only the Endos, you also have Shattered Glamour Chica, which it's fun to see. But I think Shattered Glamour Chica is a really good design. I love Glamour Chica's design overall. Shattered, Ruined, whatever. I think the shadow design is really creepy, and I really want to see it in VR, so I'm glad they did that. The Endo is a nice surprise as well, adds more challenge to the minigame. Alright, so next up we have the Endo Warehouse, one of the scariest levels in the game in my opinion. This level was terrifying. I remember playing it for the first time and like being completely shocked about how many Endos there were around me. So what you have to pretty much do is just teach the Endo right in front of you and then watch out for the other Endos and flash them with the Faz cam. And that was just a really fun minigame. It was very stressful because you're looking down, you can't look at the Endos at once, like you have to memorize the little cards on the table, and then you have to look at the Endos, look at the Endos. You have to memorize that while also focusing on Endos at the same time, and then like copy the pattern that is with the cards, which is very stressful to do, especially when there's like 10 Endos surrounding you trying to murder you at once. So yeah, I'd say this level is honestly a solid A tier. It's fun, very scary, very stressful. So next up, we'll do Fazer Blast, since most of these are pretty similar. So the first one, we have the Fazer Blast, the space one. I think the space one's honestly kind of boring. It's not that fun. It's just kind of generic. It's an okay level, just not that interesting. There are some more interesting ones. I think the rest of the Fazer blasts are actually more interesting than the first one. Next up we have the Western one, which I think is honestly pretty fun. I'd say it's a B tier. We do get some more artwork of like Glamrock Chica, Foxy, the whole Western theme, which we also see in the Pirate Ride, or I think it's a Log Ride, I'm pretty sure it's called. We do get more of that artwork there. But yeah, this level has a lot of good like new details and stuff. It's fun to play. I think it's more fun than the space one. Next up we have the recreation levels, I guess you'd call them. These like recreations of all the FNaF games. So right here we have FNaF 1. I'd say this level is probably a C tier. It's okay, not that very fun. Most of the Fazer Blast levels aren't really that great in my opinion. They're kind of boring and get repetitive over time, and we'll get to repetitive in a minute. But they're okay. They're just plain and simple, just basic shoot the target mini games. Next up we have the FNaF 2 one, which I'd say is a B tier. It's more stressful than the FNaF 1 Fazer Blast. But you have all three like things to throw. You have the balls, the darts, and you have the Fazer Blast gun. So I think the Fazer Blast gun is used to wind the music box, the darts to pop the balloons in the vents, and the balls to like hit the 8-bit targets, which I think is a good idea. It has a lot of stuff to do, very stressful. Most of these levels are really stressful, but a lot of stuff to do in the level. So yeah, it's pretty good. Next up, I'd say is another A tier. I'd say Fazer Blast FNaF 3 is like a final boss, I guess you can say. This is the way you get the Freddy memory plush. And what you have to do in the level is pretty much like a boss fight with a cardboard Springtrap, also fighting off plush babies, because they're in every single level for some reason. This is a really good like fun boss fight just to end off the Fazcade part of the game. So next up we have some of my favorite levels in the entire game, but unfortunately we have probably one of the worst levels at the very beginning. We have First Aid POH, which I think is a D tier. This is the introduction to the First Aid minigame. And I just feel like it's kind of bland. It's too easy. It's extremely easy. I don't think I died to Pig Patch on my entire playthrough. It's not like the Moon Carousel where like that level's easy, but like I've never died to Moon. It's a fun level to play, but I feel like the First Aid Pig Patch is just too easy. It's not that fun because like you don't have a threat for like half the minigame. And also Pig Patch is kind of an underwhelming character to choose. I think Molten Freddy would have been a better character instead of just like Pig Patch, since you're missing Molten Freddy and Scraptrap, which I don't think many people care about Scraptrap. I'm not disrespecting Scraptrap. I think Scraptrap is a fun character. He's not that bad, but I think Molten Freddy would have been a better choice than Pig Patch. Next up, we have First Aid Lefty, which I think is an A tier. Lefty is such a cool character. I think Lefty is really awesome. One of my favorites. Well, it's not as easy as the Pig Patch one, but it's slightly more difficult, but not too hard. Now, speaking of difficult, we have First Aid Scrap Baby. So if you know me, Scrap Baby is one of my favorite animatronics in the entire FNaF series. So seeing her in Help Wanted 2 was a nice surprise, and I was really excited to see her character, especially that jump scare. That jump scare is crazy. That's a really good jump scare. One of my favorite jump scares in the entire FNaF series. It's so good. But yeah, this level is difficult. I think it took me like 20 minutes to beat on my episode 6 of Help Wanted 2. But yeah, that was a really fun level. I really enjoyed it. Probably my favorite level in the entire game, honestly. It was so fun. So next up, we probably have some of the underwhelming levels in the entire game. We have the Fizzy Faz levels. I think these are just the definition of meh. Like these levels are just meh. I think all of these are probably just like a D tier. I think I might, okay, I won't disrespect it Fizzy Faz that much, but I'll put part 5. I'll put that in C tier because it has some difficulty to it. Not that the levels are terrible or anything, but they're just kind of overshadowed by the rest of the mini games. So next up, we have another one of my favorites. I'd say Log Ride is an S tier. This is pretty much a sequel to the Pirate Ride from Help Wanted, Carousel Dreadbear. And this level is really fun. I like all the little Western theme. I like that you can find a Jack-O-Moon by shooting the Helpy cutouts, just like in the original Help Wanted, where you have to shoot the Helpy cutouts to find the Jack-O animatronics. I think that's a good idea they brought back. This level is just really fun to replay over and over again, try and get the highest score that you can. But it's a really fun level. I love Pirate Ride in the original Help Wanted, so it was fun to see it return in this game. Now next up are probably some of people's favorite levels for a certain reason. We have the Roxy Salon. So the part 1 of Roxy Salon, I'd say this is an A tier. It's a fun level. Some people like it for obvious reasons. I think it's fun. It's just fun to be like do Rocky's makeup, which I think is a funny idea for a FNaF game. She's just kind of annoying sometimes as well. We have to look at her the whole time, and it's kind of stressful when like you see the timer ticking down. Roxy's like screaming at you to stare at her. Next, we have the better version of it though. We have Roxy Salon Repair, and I think it is a much better version of the original Roxy Salon. This is much scarier because obviously you have Shattered Roxy standing right in front of you, and she's kind of staring at you. You can't really say she's staring at you because she's missing eyes. But yeah, her face is completely gone. Her snout is not even there anymore. And also, like it confirms that the theory that the mask she has in Ruin is an actual mask instead of her actual endoskeleton, which would just be a retcon. But it's an actual mask she has. So yeah, I think it's just fun. A lot of different combinations you can do. You can make it look really silly. I put like different eyes in it. You can also find her snout, pretty sure. You can put that snout back on. But yeah, a lot of different options you can do. I love Help Wanted too, just all the options you can have, all different choices. It's just so fun. So next up, we have a very underwhelming level again. We have the Staff Bot Makeover. I think this is the basic C tier. Actually, I'm gonna make it a D tier. This level kind of sucks. I don't really see why you replay this level ever again after the first time, because like you have a better one for the Roxy Salons. I just feel like the Staff Bot one is kind of boring. Also, I'm not that big a fan of the Staff Bots. I don't think anyone is actually. I don't think anyone likes the Staff Bots that much, except for Mapbot. Mapbot's the GOAT. So next up, we have all of the sister location levels. Now these ones I think are really good. These are some of the scariest levels in the entire game. Not that fun. Well, some of them are pretty fun, but they more focus on the scarier side of FNaF than the fun levels like Roxy Salon, Food Prep, and like Bonkabon. Those are some really fun levels. But then we have the really scary ones here. So right here we have Ballora Gallery. I think this is a B tier. It's a good level, B for Ballora. So I think Ballora Gallery is a B tier. They expanded on like the original Ballora Gallery from sister location, which I think is a good idea. They added mini arenas, they added biddy babs. If you go too far out of bounds in the mini game, like go too far into the darkness, a biddy bab will chase after you. The mini arenas call Ballora over to you. I think it's just really fun. It's very scary as well. I was terrified on my first playthrough of this. So next up we have the Funtime Freddy Break Room, which I think is an A tier. This is a really fun level. I replayed it many times. It's just really fun to play. It's just a remake of the original Break Room, not much different. But yeah, Funtime Freddy's angry face looks really silly as well. Next up we have the Break Room Endo level, which actually made me like Endo a little more because of his flexing at the end of the level. That's awesome, bro. Endo flexing, that's so cool. But yeah, this level is just really fun. Same with the Funtime Freddy Break Room. It's the exact same, just with Endo this time. Not much different, just a little more difficult because Endo is more aggressive. Next up we have our private room levels, our final levels of the game. So we have the Ennard private room. This one I'd say is a C tier. It's very meh. It's kind of a downgrade from the original location. I never beat the one in this location because that is a difficult level. You have so little power to use because your power, like by the time it turns 5 AM, you have like 10% power left. I just didn't want to beat the private room because Ennard's jump scare sound is so loud. I have to listen to all of his walking sounds and like his voice lines to know where he is in the private room. And when he jump scares you, it's so loud. I think my ears started bleeding after that, I swear. It's like, also it's a downgrade because whenever he walks towards you, it turns to the next hour. So like 1 AM, he'll walk to the office. 2 AM, he walks to the office, like right at the end of the hour. It's just really easy. He's very scripted, I think. Next one we have the Ballora private room. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it is, I'd say it's a B tier. Actually, no, I'd say it's a C tier. It's not that fun. It's kind of just Ballora Gallery animatronics just put into the private room. So biddy babs, mini arenas, and Ballora. Not many threats, just really easy to beat. Next up, we have the Funtime Gang level, which I think this one's really good. I think it's an S tier. You have a lot of different characters to face off against. You have Funtime Freddy, Funtime Chica, and Funtime Foxy, and also Bonbon and the Funtime Cupcake, which you have to move around. This level has a lot of stuff for you to do, so you have to focus on Funtime Freddy where he is on the map and where he'll throw Bonbon, either through the vent, the right door, left door. You also have to focus on Funtime Foxy, who will run through either door on your office. I think it's depending on whether Funtime Chica is in a hallway or not. I don't remember. It's very confusing. Now, speaking of Funtime Chica, her like mechanic is also very confusing. I don't think many people actually understand what is happening here, and neither do I. I don't know what her mechanic is, because like I think it just wants you to give her the cupcake and then she leaves. But if you give her the cupcake, she'll just come back and stand at your door and then you get jump scared. But then if you do the actual achievement, the cupcake keep away, where you move the cupcake around your desk, so she moves from either hallway, that you get the achievement, which I don't think is the proper way to do it. Also, Fun Chica returning in a FNaF game is also a very nice surprise. I used to be a big fan of Fun Chica, so I'm glad that she's back in a FNaF game. So yeah, very good level, very fun, also very scary, especially Fun and Foxy running around that corner. Now, our last level for the FNaF Help Wanted 2 tier list, we have the job interview of Circus Baby. I think this is another S tier. This is pretty much like a final boss for Help Wanted 2, like a final boss battle, I guess you can say. So in job interview, you have 3 things to do. You have to do red light, green light with the plush babies. You have to do hide and seek on the cameras of the plush babies, and then finally, you have to just flash them with your flashlight, just like in the plush baby minigame from Help Wanted 1. And after you beat that, Circus Baby might give you an ice cream, which is pretty cool. Very nice. And also, it's kind of the same way Elizabeth died in Assist Location, but instead of dying this time, we actually get the ice cream, which is pretty awesome. And that is all of the levels in Help Wanted 2. There is no Princess Quest 4 on this tier list, but if there was, I'd probably put an S tier. I'm a big Princess Quest fan. It's a fun minigame to play in both Security Breach and Help Wanted 2. So I really like the level. It's really good. It's fun seeing like an 8-bit minigame just in like 3D. That's just so cool. But yeah, that is all the levels in FNaF Help Wanted 2. So if there's anything you'd want to change on this tier list, put them in the comments below. These are just my opinions, so don't get too angry about them. And that will be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!